Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Texas Association of Private Football Schools in the West Independent School District welcome you to the Fulton Arena for Cap State Championship Basketball 2020. Tonight's game is for the 3A State Championship and features the Eagles of Rosehill Christian School and the Bulldogs of Yavneh Academy of Dallas. At this time, we invite you to stand for our invocation. It'll be given this evening by Mr. David Zimmerman, the head coach of the Yavneh Academy Bulldogs.
Hashem, our precious, precious God, as the Sabbath has ended, and we are so thankful to TAPS as an organization to understand our beliefs and respect those, to our opponents from Tom Hall, Rosehill Christian, thank you and your fans, your team, and all of your supporters for also understanding that above all, while we come here ready to cheer, while we come here ready to compete with everything we have in our hearts and our souls, more importantly than any of it, we are here to build precious, precious relationships with our neighbors from all around the state of Texas, to better understand each other, to better talk and educate one another, because we all know that we come from that same wonderful and incredible spiritual that tells us, let's be one people together, unified, and always, always respect one another. I would like to wish all of you a good, wonderful game, a safe journey home, and please pray for the health of all of the players, referees, and officials, and we all pray together and say, let this world again be a world of shalom, a world of peace. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do not have a national anthem available at this time, so will you please join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, we might introduce both teams involved in our state champion 3A championship game. First of all, our designated guest team. They're the district champions, the District 6-3A. They come in to the next game with a season record of 26-11. They're making their first ever appearance at the state championship tournament. They're the Eagles of Rosehill Christian School of Tampa. Members of the Eagle squad. Number 5 sophomore, Christopher Sweetland. Number 11, freshman, Anthony Wilder. Number 12, sophomore, Ben Gringo. Number 14, junior, Michael Valdez. Number 15, sophomore, Micah Kelly. Number 20, sophomore, Ethan Schiff. Number 21, freshman, Samuel Twain. For the Bulldogs, starting a guard of 5'11" senior, number 1, Jacob Anderson. And the guard, a 5'9" freshman, number 2, Avery Motkin Henderson. At guard, 5'9" junior number 10, Pierce Ship. At guard, 6'4" senior number 22, Caleb Caesar. And starting at post, 6'3" junior number 23, Justin Whitmire. Head coach of the Eagles is Taylor Martyr. He's assisted by Timothy Huntington. The Eagles of Rosehill Christian School. And now, introducing our designated home team, district champions in District 2 3A. Coming in with a season record of 30-3 in their fourth state tournament appearance in which they claimed one state championship, the Bulldogs of Yavneh Academy of Dallas. Members of the Bulldog squad, number 0, junior Tom Oster. Number 2, freshman Brendan Bernstein. Number 4, junior Alicia Klein. Number 4, freshman Daniel Schick. Number 11, senior Reese Parker. Number 12, junior Avery Levy. Number 14, sophomore Noah Anaya. Number 22, junior Nicholas Krasovitsky. Number 23, sophomore Baynex Jaleel Baynex. Number 33, freshman Adam Eber. Number 44, senior Alec Nelson. And number 55, junior Xander Feinstein. For the Bulldogs, starting at forward, the 6'1", senior number 1, Jonah Eber. At guard, a 6-foot senior, number 3, Tyler Wynn. And at guard, a 5'10" junior, number 5, Jason Prager. At wing, a 6-foot sophomore, number 13, Benjamin Rail. And at post, a 6'6" senior, number 41, Mason Schwaber. Head coach of the Bulldogs is David Zimmerman, assisted by Zachary Pollock, Marty Cornett, Matthew Zucker, Dmitry Chernikov, Max Wishburn, Jared Katz, and Ryan Rosen. The Bulldogs of Yavneh Academy.
It's the 3A state championship game in TAPS boys basketball, the final game of the day. From West High School in West Texas, number 5, Rosehill Christian, the 25-7 Eagles, against the number 1 team in the state in 3A boys basketball and private school hoops, Yavneh Academy, the 30-3 Bulldogs. A production of TAPS TV. Mike Leslie joined, as always today, Earl Garland, the 5-time state champion winning head coach, for a good one in 3A between two of the top 5 teams in the state.
I don't know how we top what we've seen so far, but I'm sure both teams are going to try.
Our public address announcer, John Pritchett, introduced you to the starting lineups a moment ago. We'll reintroduce you here in a moment as Mason Schwaber and Caleb Caesar meet for the opening tip, and Yavneh with the first possession.
Rosehill opening up in a 1-3-1.
Yavneh Academy in the home whites, red letters and numbers, red and black piping down the left and right sides. Moving right to left here in the first half. Their starters, Jonah Eber, Tyler Winton, Jason Prager, Benjamin Rail, and Mason Schwaber. For Rosehill Christian in their road black uniforms. As the 3 is missed short, rebound tipped around, pulled down, the putback won't go for Schwaber, but he'll head to the free throw line.
Yeah, the 2 key players for Rosehill are Jacob Anderson and Caleb Caesar. Jacob was on the Rosehill team last year, injured himself early in the playoffs, and they weren't able to advance according to Coach Millar because of that. But Caleb Caesar transferred in. Jacob's now healthy, and the two of them, Jacob averaging 25 and Caleb averaging 21 points a game. So they are the heart of the scoring for Rosehill.
Schwaber misses the first free throw. Anderson and Caesar, two of the 5 starters for Rosehill Christian in those road black uniforms. Also starting Avery Botkin-Henderson, Pierce Shipp as the second free throw misses as well, and Justin Whitmire. Racing up the floor comes Anderson. In the corner, a 3, misses short. Rebound, pulled down, and Rosehill with an extra possession. 3 on the way for Caesar. Yes, sir.
Now you saw how active Jacob Anderson was in there. He's starting right off where he left off yesterday. He's a very active player. Also want to point out the way the 1-3-1 set up for Rosehill with number 22 Caesar at the top. That length, big, tall person. That's one of the great ways to set your 1-3-1, so you get a chance to deflect some passes up there at the top.
Caesar, a transfer into this Rosehill Christian program this year. His head coach, Taylor Marlar, describes him as a smooth shooter. Right wing for Yavneh. Prager back out. 3 on the way, misses short from Winton. Anderson racing up the floor, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay here. Marlar, the head coach for Rosehill Christian, 25-7 on the season. They won in the state semifinals yesterday against Brazos Christian, 77-61. For Yavneh, David Zimmerman, the head coach, 30-3 on the year. The number 1 team in the state. They beat Midland Classical 68-56 yesterday in the state semis. Down the left side of the lane, the block from behind. Eber canceling it out.
That's what Jacob Anderson did yesterday all day long, just a penetration to the basket, and to couple that with a great perimeter shot. He's a really fine player.
Shipp gives it on the right wing for Anderson. A block and a travel prior to that. Yavneh's win yesterday over Midland Classical, a bit of revenge because that was who knocked them out of the playoffs in the state semifinals a year ago, ending a 27-7 campaign. Yavneh with the up and under move for Eber and a foul.
And I told you that Ebner would be rather creative around the basket. There's his first opportunity.
Eber, the senior, a player who their head coach Zimmerman mentioned has dropped an awful lot of weight recently. He and Schwaber, he said both of them have dropped weight in the recent months and have been much more effective as a result. Second free throw, short, a 1-for-2 trip, but the first points of the day for Yavneh. Pressure and a steal, knocked away, the steal by Prager. Now he'll get it back on the left wing, and Yavneh will set the offense. Baseline drive, kick out, 3 on the way. Misses long.
Yeah, that ball hit the support system of the basket there. That's the reason for the stoppage in play. Yavneh coming out with their own 1-3-1, but a little more extended, trying to trap.
Nearly a steal, tried to save it back in bounds, did Winton, but he was on the base, on the sideline rather. This game rescheduled to a 8 o'clock tip, ended up being closer to 8:45. It's 8:52 right now. We're only a few minutes in. The 5A and 6A games both ran a little long. Up and under move. Jacob Anderson with the finish.
That's incredible. Great body control and be able to get under the basket. Well done.
Baseline for Schwaber. Cross court. In the corner, 3 is good. Benjamin Rail buries the triple.
A great example of using the skip pass, and the skip pass going right to the corner for the shot. A great way to attack the 1-3-1.
Look at the length from Caleb Caesar, but he can't finish, and here comes Yavneh. In the corner, nice look underneath, but he short-armed the layup. Winton couldn't finish it. Up and down they go. Anderson, high off the glass, but no. Caesar can't grab the rebound. Back the other way comes Yavneh. In traffic, no call. The finish for Eber.
I thought there was a charge there, but no call.
Caesar, left wing three, short. Eber won't go. Offensive board. Schwaber's hook shot won't go. Another offensive rebound. This time Eber able to finish.
Rosehill's got to box out and cut off those second chance buckets there.
Caesar hounded, able to get it out. Now gets it back in the corner. Baseline drive cut off. Caesar takes it back. Caesar into the lane again and a block.
One of the things that would help Rosehill in breaking this extended 1-3-1 here is to bring their number 23, their man in the middle, up higher on the floor and give them a release valve in the middle. They're just leaving that middle wide open. At least that's the way it's been the last couple of possessions, so we'll see how it pans out here. There he was, 22 to the basket.
Foul was on the floor, so a baseline inbound. Now left wing for Caesar. And he double dribbles with it.
Caesar was wide open on his cut to the baseline there on the baseline out of bounds play, but they missed him. Rosehill taking a timeout.
Taylor Marlar wanted to talk things over here. 5 minutes into the 3A state championship game. Yavneh Academy with an 8-5 lead here in the early going. I started to mention before this game was rescheduled. It was initially supposed to be played earlier today, but Taps rescheduling the game because of Yavneh Academy's win over Midland Classical in the state semifinal, today being the Jewish holy day of Shabbat, sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. I was talking with their head coach, David Zimmerman, before the game. He said that entire time, no phones, no basketball discussion. They sit and gather together, eat together, discuss together. It is a full day of religious appreciation. And as a result, they weren't able to compete during that time, so the game rescheduled for after sundown here on Saturday night. And a game that started just a little after 8:30. Right wing three out of the timeout. Yes, sir. And a fast start for Yavneh Academy as the triple goes for Jason Prager. Now trouble in the backcourt here for Anderson. Able to get across the timeline. Nice look underneath. Easy layup for Justin Whitmire.
What a fine pass. Anderson is a heck of a player. He had a great game yesterday, and he's picked up where he left off, as I said earlier.
You wonder, how did he even find him? As hounded as he was in the backcourt, to have the court presence to see him down floor and make that pass, that was impressive.
Great court vision. He had three guys around him and still found his teammate.
Slowing things down now is Jason Prager. Dribbling at the top, under 2 to play here in quarter number 1. David Zimmerman saying, hey, take it slow. Catch a breath. This is a team that he said they'll play 10, but they really only run 7 deep. They're top 7 players. And I asked him, who's your best player? He said, honestly, any one of our guys 1 through 7 on any given night. We don't have that clearly defined go-to guy. Whoever's hot on that night, and we'll go through that person.
I can believe that based on what I've seen yesterday and now again today.
Yavneh slowing it down big time, taking the air out of the ball. Finally, they get a look in the lane, and it goes for Eber.
Now they're in the 2-2-1.
More pressure, nearly a steal for Eber. Rosehill able to break it, but a strip. Caesar on his way to the tin, had it ripped away, and here comes Yavneh again. A very nice start for the Bulldogs. 15-7 they lead. 45 seconds to play in the first quarter.
That was a nice deflection to get that ball away from Caesar. They had a layup if that wouldn't have happened. So great defensive recovery by Yavneh.
.30 seconds to play as Yavneh waits. Standing at midcourt, Tyler Winton. They call out a play, and with 11, they'll initiate. Left wing for Schwaber. Up top, Prager. Right wing, Winton with 2. Up top, it's going to be a long 3 on the way. Short off the hands of Benjamin Rail. And 1 quarter in the books, 15-7 in favor of Yavneh. The number 1 Bulldogs lead after 1 in the 3A title game.
Beginning the second quarter, West Eagles.
Back at West High School, 13-7, our apologies, the score after 1 quarter of play. Nice look underneath. Layup won't go, but a foul. Good vision early on here from Jacob Anderson. This time he finds Avery Botkin-Henderson underneath, and he'll head to the line for 2.
Yeah, with both teams in that 1-3-1, whatever side of the floor the ball's on, that diagonal to the backside is going to be there if the backside wing doesn't make a good rotation to the baseline. And sometimes you can catch a team being slow to get there and get that easy pass that they just had and getting these free throws now. So, but both teams are going to be susceptible to that because that rotation sometimes is forgotten.
2 free throws down for Botkin-Henderson, lead down to 4. As we start quarter number 2 here of the 3A state championship game. The final game of the day, one of 2, I should say, final games of the day. The 1A state championship happening in an adjacent gym here at West High School. 3 on the way. Another one goes for Prager. Caesar trying to make something happen, hounded by the defense, gets it across for Anderson. Anderson now pressured. Up and under move. What a finish.
He's incredible around the basket. I told you that earlier. He's something else. Very creative.
Got the roll there and cuts the lead back down to 5. No whistle after a lot of contact. And now Midland Classical, or Rosehill Christian rather, will run. And the layup goes. Anthony Wilder just into the ball game. Lead down to 3.
How about some fast and furious there, huh?
Back up top for Prager. 90 seconds gone by here in the second quarter. Nice look inside for Schwaber. Short-armed it. Gets his own board. The putback won't go. A third try, this time with the foul.
And I see Coach Marlar over there saying, you've got to box out. What happens a lot of times, one of the ways to see if a team's rebounding the ball well is to watch the defenders' heads when the shot go up. When the shot goes up, if their heads follow the ball, they are probably not going to get their box outs. And on that possession right there, Rosehill's players were watching the ball and not finding a man to box out.
Missed free throw, though, so the lead stays at 5, and quickly down the floor again. This time the put-up won't go for Jacob Anderson. Cross court near side for Eber. In the corner, baseline drive for Benjamin Rail, and it's knocked away. Back the other way comes Caesar. He'll pull up. Nice look down the lane. Wide open for the layup. A.J. Wilder finishes.
That's why when you're trailing the play, you always want to find that seam to run down. You might get you an easy layup.
Great look by Caleb Caesar. Lead down to 3. We've seen it as large as 7 here in the early going.
In the game for the Bulldogs, number 3, Tyler Warner, number 12, Avery Levy.
.5:35 to play here, second quarter. 18-15, the number 1 Yavneh Academy Bulldogs lead by 3 over number 5 Rosehill Christian. And a throwaway. Oh, they're going to say it was knocked out of bounds by Rosehill Christian. Taylor Marlar, the head coach there for the Eagles, trying to argue that he threw the ball out of bounds. The officials say no, it was tipped, and it will stay on this end. Frankly, I'm not sure that the coaching staff is wrong on that one. That looked like he may have thrown it out of bounds.
They might be right. One of the things, too, I've noticed, apparently this crew doesn't call offensive charges.
We haven't seen one yet, I don't believe. Schwaber can't finish. Another offensive board. 2 empty shots. Rosehill running up the floor.
Yep.
And he traveled with it.
Yep. Pitter pat. That's a good call. Unfortunate, but a good call. Nice pass by Anderson again.
A.J. Wilder, only a freshman, has made some plays here in the early going since he's come in the basketball game, but that one, little happy feet and the turnover. Eber, cross court for Prager, gets it back, and he traveled with it.
So I don't know, that looked like a Euro step to me, but I guess it wasn't.
Our 3 officials today, Alan Roberts, the crew chief, Eric Hoskins, and Jonathan Villarreal. Caesar splits the defense twice, but short arm the layup.
Man, after all that hard work, to miss the shot is painful.
3 on the way. That one misses short. Prager's been hot to start, but can't hit that one. Eber, 14-footer, long. Rebound tipped and grabbed by Rosehill. Anderson hounded at midcourt, and a foul on Eber. Neither team in the bonus yet here, midway through quarter number 2. Off the screen, Anderson nearly got the clever finish to go. He really, you were absolutely on the money. He is very creative around the rim, but that one wouldn't curl home.
Yeah, I just can't believe he got all the way to the basket on that through a zone. But a credit to his athletic ability.
One thing has been clear, Anderson and Caesar can get pretty much anywhere on the floor they want to, just both of them haven't always finished when they've gotten all the way to the hoop.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sure Coach Marlar would like to see him finish.
3-pointer off the front iron, but Schwaber with another rebound, then a putback.
Yep, Coach Marlar saying again to Caesar, you got to box out.
5-point lead. Anderson down the lane, draws the foul.
Yep, so you saw the little adjustment change there by Coach Marlar. He had 23 Whitmer up higher in the middle of the court there for that entry pass into the middle. That will relieve that pressure. That's a nice adjustment.
Anderson to the free throw line to shoot 2. Last year, this Rosehill Christian school, 18-12. Lost in the area round of the playoffs. This year, all the way to the state championship game. First free throw misses for Anderson. He's their leading scorer at 25 a game. Also pulls down 6 boards a game. 1 for 2 at the free throw line, and the lead is 4. Winton, right wing 3, Benjamin, all net.
That didn't look pretty, but it was effective.
Benjamin Rail burying the triple. Lead up to 7. Anderson spinning in the lane, and he throws it away. Out of control, and Yavneh trying to capitalize. Back to Eber. Layup won't go, but a foul.
Yeah, Anderson got a little out of control down at the other end of the floor here. Took a hard fall. Didn't get back into play. Kind of hurt his team a little bit.
First free throw goes for Eber. Lead has grown back to 8 now. In fact, the first time we've seen it grow to 8. And now 9. Largest lead of the basketball game for Yavneh Academy. The number 1 3A team in the state. Trapping on the side, trouble for Rosehill, jump ball, possession arrow to Yavneh.
With the aggressive trap that Yavneh's doing, you can't stick the ball in your hand very long. You got to catch and shoot, or catch and get rid of it.
Pierce Ship got himself in trouble and couldn't find his way out. The turnover on the jump ball, and Yavneh looking to add to a 9-point lead. Eber. They get it on the baseline now to Schwaber. Cross court. Prager.
Ooh.
Yavneh patient, nearly threw it away. Now they get it back to Prager for 3. Misses off the left side. Offensive board, though, once again for Yavneh, and Eber puts it in.
The other thing to note, it's hard to get box outs in the zone because you're not guarding a man, you're just guarding an area. So sometimes it's hard to, sometimes zones don't rebound very well. And
nearly a steal, but a foul on Tyler Winton. A 7-0 run for Yavneh Academy, and it's grown to a double-digit lead, 27-16. Chris Swedland into the ball game for Rosehill Christian just a moment ago. Final 90 seconds of half number 1. Off the screen, Anderson. Miscommunication, turnover. And some frustration starting to show here for Rosehill Christian as Anderson and Swedland weren't on the same page.
nice move by Coach Zimmerman to get Schwabner out of the game so he doesn't catch any fouls here with a minute 26 left. That's a nice move.
He's made a big impact inside, multiple offensive rebounds. A big part of why they've been able to build this 11-point edge late in quarter number 2. And once again, late in a quarter, patient with it as Eber dribbles 45 feet from the hoop.
I think Yavneh's been patient the whole game. They've done a really nice job of staying settled down and taking what the defense has given them.
Back up top for Prager. Clock down to 45 in the half. A little bit of miscommunication there. The pass was behind him and a turnover here. Caleb Caesar up ahead. Layup will go for A.J. Wilder. Final 30 seconds of quarter number 2. Yavneh trying to wait till the 10-second mark before they make their move.
Anderson did a good job there of avoiding the foul. He almost had a steal, but got himself twisted. I don't know how he gets his body twisted in all the different ways he does, but he avoided a foul there by doing that.
5 seconds to play. Cross court, 3 for Prager. Back iron, and the offensive board is late. 27-18, the number 1 team, Yavneh Academy, with a 9-point edge after 1 half of play on Rosehill Christian.
I don't have much to say, Mike. I'm just wore out. I'm sorry, viewers.
The end of a long weekend.
Yeah, the end of a long week. 6 games yesterday, 5 today. I'm doing my best, folks, but I'm 66. But we're having a good time.
Earl Garland worn out. It's been a fun day of basketball here at West High School, but it has been a long day as well with some exciting up and down, fast-paced basketball. Frankly, Yavneh Academy's trying to do you a favor, slowing things down and being patient in the front court as much as they have been.
Well, you think about it, though, for us as announcers, I mean, we're as ginned up as the players a little bit.
Oh,
right?
you know
we
it.
got to drill them as long as we want to do a good job for our viewers, and you know, it starts to tell on your body. I know I haven't been on the elliptical trainer enough, I can tell you that. So I probably ought to do a little bit more of that. But anyway.
We'll catch a little bit of a break right now, though. 9 minutes until the second half begins, and we'll bring you the second half after the break here on TAPS TV.
Sounds good.
as we welcome you back to West Texas. 1 half to play in a marathon weekend here in the Waco area.
Well, interesting. Coach decided to keep Justin Whitmire for Rosehill on the bench with the 3 fouls, so that's probably a smart move.
A steal here right off the first possession for Rosehill. Ripping it away is Tyler Winton. He's got 2 fouls at the half. And the number 1 team in the state in 3A, Yavneh Academy, looking for a state title and up by 9 through the first 16 minutes. 3-point look set up on the left wing, misses long rebound down to Prager.
3-point shot's hard to rebound. It doesn't come off the rim soft.
Nice look from Schwaber, but the putback, the layup won't go. Tipped up, still loose. And here comes Anderson. No whistle. He can't believe it. And now a throwaway, but it's tipped right to Yavneh, and the layup goes for Winton. How about that for a helter-skelter first minute of the third quarter?
Well, what was amazing is how Anderson kept his dribble on the defensive end and then did not draw a foul going to the basket. But you're right, that was helter-skelter up and down the floor.
Shipp with it right wing. Every time he gets the basketball, they try and trap him, and they steal it away once again.
Yeah. Bless his heart, he's not handling that trap very well.
Yavneh with an 11-point lead and looking to add to it. Schwaber buries it. Schwaber now with 6 on the day.
I think we're on the teetering point here for Rosehill.
Rosehill needs to make something happen here. Caesar draws the foul.
Coach Marlar beside himself over there.
Leading scorers through the first half. Jonah Eber leads all scorers with 11 for Yavneh. 6 apiece for Benjamin Rail and Jason Prager. Pass into the backcourt. Knocked our way and out of bounds by Tyler Winton. Meanwhile, for Rosehill Christian, 6 points from Anthony Wilder, 5 from Jacob Anderson. Schwaber now with 6 for Yavneh Academy after his bucket just a moment ago to establish this 13-point lead.
Yavneh's changed to a 2-3 zone. This is the same thing they did yesterday.
Anderson with a big 3.
Well, if they're not going to guard him up at the top of that zone, he may as well fire away. He can shoot that. He's a fine shooter.
He's now got 8 on the day. And a really big bucket just to kind of calm the nerves here in the second half. That 3 missed well short off the hands of Benjamin Rail. He hit 2 threes in the first half, but misses that one badly. And it goes back to Rosehill Christian.
Now Coach Zimmerman decides to come back with the pressure.
Caesar. Out of bounds off the hands of A.J. Wilder. You talked about that in a previous game, that short pass in a tight space.
Yeah.
Hard to execute.
Especially a zipper like that. And there was a fastball in the corner pocket. He might have got through there with a bounce pass. That's easier to handle for the catch, but just a tough space to work in that close.
Prager will fire a 3. Back iron. Long rebound, chased down by Rosehill. But then a steal. Ripping it away is Winton, and he lays it in. Timeout, Taylor Marlar.
Unfortunately, the Rosehill players are kind of barking at one another. That's not going to help them. They need to stay together, stay unified, keep working hard.
Now, Taylor Marlar's got his work cut out for him right now in this timeout, trying to settle things down.
Yes.
His team trailing by a dozen, and to your point, getting frustrated with one another about some of the miscommunications, some of the misconnections. They need to find a little bit of unity right now if they're going to be able to make a comeback.
Sometimes in games, your toughest opponent is yourself. You can be your biggest enemy sometimes. And that's when the coach has to be a psychologist and not a coach. Yeah. Yeah.
You were saying earlier today you've had some experience with being a psychologist at different points.
You know, I bet you I would lay money on the fact that Dan Lee has had to do a lot of psychology work this year with that great team he had at John Paul II. Because when you got that many great players on a team, there's egos there, all that goes along with that. And I've experienced that in the past, and man, to assuage those egos is hard to do sometimes.
You'll want that as a coach.
Absolutely.
Because ego comes with talent, and you want that talent. But it is sometimes tough to.
It's a fine balance.
Yes.
Now I see Whitmire back in the game for Rosehill.
They trail by a dozen. Anderson trying to change that, and he'll head to the line for 2.
He is an incredible penetrator to the basket. He has really worked on that craft a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess he's a gym rat at Rosehill.
He just kind of looks like a gym rat, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that in a complimentary way, in case that's at all unclear.
Yeah, it's very complimentary. The problem is nowadays with all the electronic devices, there aren't enough gym rats anymore. They think they're going to get better playing NBA basketball on their Xbox or whatever it is they play. Go mush brain with that.
2 free throws for the senior Anderson. Lead back down to 10. Rosehill needs to get some stops.
Yeah, to get some stops and get it under 10, and it might give them a little boost psychologically.
Trying to create some havoc with this zone. 1-3-1. Yavneh content to pass over top of it back and forth between Prager and Eber. And once again, Eber. Now down low. Back out, Prager. Cross court for Eber. And he traveled with it.
He slid on the floor. Well, I tell you what, how frustrating for Rosehill. They're diving on. I mean, they're just shifting all over the floor.
Yeah.
And Yavneh's just kind of, ha. We're going to just pass over you. That's really frustrating as a defender.
At least say this for Rosehill. They were able to, well, I don't know if you can say create a turnover, but they get a turnover off the possession. And now the lead's down to 8 as the 16-footer goes for Justin Whitmire.
I am shocked he didn't shoot that shot at all yesterday, and he had multiple opportunities, so good for him. That's awesome.
Lead down to 8, 3:35 third quarter in the 3A state championship game. Number 1, Yavneh, in control, patient with it on offense, passing over top of this 1-3-1 zone. Now they try to penetrate a bit. Baseline, 14-footer, rattles out. Noah Ohayon just into the game, but they get the ball back, and Schwaber puts it in.
All they had to do was grab that rebound. My goodness gracious. Allowing these offensive rebounds has killed Rosehill.
Anderson down the lane, draws the foul.
Chance to get it under 10 again. Hopefully Anderson will put both of these in to make it an 8-point lead for Yavneh. He certainly has the stroke to do it. Oh my goodness, I jinxed him. I need to shut up.
The announcer jinx can feel real in moments.
Yeah. I always laugh at that when I hear the guys say it on TV, but I've watched it live here this weekend.
Second one goes.
Good job, good comeback.
1 for 2 for Anderson. Lead stands at 9. David Zimmerman's club content to run some clock. Schwaber thought about a 3. The big lefty puts it back up top in the hands of Winton. 2 and 30 seconds. Third quarter action, 3A state title game. Prager for three. Short. Another offensive board. And the putback will go for Eber.
I don't know if anybody noticed, but Rosehill went to man there.
You'd think that would help them
You would think
on the glass.
Yeah, to get the rebound, but I guarantee if we played the tape back, you'd watch all those heads follow the ball and not find a man to box out first.
Yavneh has destroyed them on the offensive glass.
There's a nice little X screen to get a three-point shot for Anderson. Unfortunately, he couldn't connect.
Prager, baseline drive, looks inside, had it tipped away, right to a teammate, Winton. The layup misses, another offensive board as Winton chases it down.
He followed his own shot. Timeout for Coach Zimmerman with 30. Yeah, Winton shot that a little one-legged, I don't know what you call that shot. I don't have a name for it, but he was quick to go get his own rebound because he didn't get boxed out, and that's a hard shot to box out, actually, the way he shot it. But he did. You learn when you first start playing ball. What do they say? You shoot, you follow your shot, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's exactly what he did.
Yavneh as a team has done that exceptionally well through three quarters. Offensive rebounds, as big a reason as any that they sit with an 11-point lead.
I agree. It has been Rosehill's Achilles heel for sure. Now they go back to the 1-3-1.
Prager
No, I'm
back
wrong
across
there.
for Eber.
I'm wrong there in the man-to-man.
Schwaber finishes.
Schwaber's been tough in this half.
6.5, 10 on the night. Lead to 13, largest it has been today.
Now Yavneh back to the 2-3.
Anderson into traffic, spinning through the defense, and a foul.
That's amazing. His own man got in his way, and he still created something into the lane. That's incredible. I don't know how he does it.
The first thing that Taylor Marlar said to me about Jacob Anderson, he's a ball handler.
Yep. He's that and more. He is that and more.
It honestly amazes me, though, that Caleb Caesar has not had more of an impact on this basketball game. His ability to get anywhere he wants to be on the floor was ever present in the first half. He's kind of disappeared here in the second half. They need him to get something going offensively to assist Anderson. They're down 13 right now.
And when he's your second leading scorer, he needs to get going. They need his points.
Averages 21 a game.
Mm-hmm.
He had 2 at halftime, and I don't believe he scored but maybe 2 points here in the second half. And he has it stolen away now.
That's not over and back.
Timeout, David Zimmerman.
Yeah, he saw that scramble coming, but that was not over and back. Fans don't understand. They're a bunch of folk over there yelling over and back. It's not over and back.
Right.
You got to have everything across the half-court line.
I'll tell you what, it is as much fun as anything. The game is obviously fun to watch. Watching the coaches, watching the body language is as fun as anything. David Zimmerman called that timeout, was just pacing down the floor, walked almost all the way to the door on the far right side of the gym.
Yeah, he almost went out to the foyer to call the timeout. But he didn't like whatever he saw there, and I guess I mean, he kind of got I don't know who was handling the ball here. I missed it, but he kind of got stuck there, and so that was a good timeout.
Yeah.
He bailed his player out. Good job by Coach Zimmerman.
14.6 to play here in the third quarter. They lead by 13, and they have possession out of this timeout.
Okay, now Rosehill man-to-man. They have to play man. I don't see how they could stay in that zone. Yavneh was just toying with them.
Schwaber, hands off, Prager in the corner, 3 on the way. Misses long. Anderson will fire at the buzzer and miss to the left side of the stanchion.
Good quarter.
And through 3 quarters, it's a 13-point game.
Good court awareness by Anderson to get that attempt off, because move it over a little bit to the right, he had a chance.
It goes begging, though, and it's a 13-point lead. Yavneh Academy, the number 1 team in the state in 3A, in control as we head to the fourth. We'll be back. As we welcome you back to West Texas, the final quarter of a very busy weekend here in the Waco area. 36 basketball games in total. 12 girls semifinals, 6 state championships over the course of Thursday and Friday. 12 boys semifinals and 6 championships over the course of Friday and Saturday. This 3A state championship between Yavneh and Rosehill, the final one of the weekend. 8 minutes to play. Yavneh up 13 as they have possession to start the fourth. Schwaber on the baseline, drop step, and the bucket.
Yeah, beautiful drop step move. That had to be something that Coach Zimmerman set up coming out of the quarter there, because they went right over there. It was a 2-man game on the left side of the offense, and a great job, nice move by Schwabner.
He's got 12 on the night, and a travel here by Anderson. Anderson leads Rosehill with 11, but he has not had much help beyond that.
Yeah, I would say he's pretty frustrated. He's playing hard. He's doing his best.
He was the only player for Rosehill Christian to score in the third quarter. Yavneh running the break. Layup will go for Ohio. And the lead is 17. Anderson leaves it off. They get it back out top for Caesar for 3. Misses short.
I can see why Coach Marlar says he's silky smooth, because he is. He just gets that shot nice and smooth up. Effortlessly, I would call it. Effortlessly.
He does indeed, but the problem is for Rosehill Christian is he just has not been a big enough piece of the offense tonight. They needed much more from him through those first 3 quarters, and they need a lot from him here in the fourth if they're going to come back.
It's almost an insurmountable lead now. There we go with the 2-man game again for Schwabner.
And Schwaber draws the foul.
I'd do that every time down the floor.
Why not?
The old Vince Lombardi rule. They run it till they stop us.
30-second timeout, Taylor Marlar. Marlar talking with Jacob Anderson, trying to come up with some sort of scheme to get back into this basketball game. 6:53 to play in the fourth. They trail by 17. They've only scored 26 all night.
I'll tell you what, if Coach Marlar comes up with a scheme to come back from 17 down, he needs to bottle it and sell it. But it could happen. It could happen for sure.
They have the talent. I think that must be one of the things that is frustrating for Taylor Marlar. Between Anderson and Caleb Caesar and some of the plays we've seen from Avery Botkin-Henderson tonight, they have talent out there. A.J. Wilder, to me, is a very sneaky player off the bench. He's made some nice plays for them tonight. They have some talent. I frankly believe this game should be closer than it is right now, but Yavneh has taken advantage of their opportunities, and Rosehill just has not.
Well, and I think you can go back to the offensive rebounds that Rosehill has allowed. I mean, that's been a real killer for them to allow so many opportunities. You just can't give a team 3 and 4 chances around a basket.
Yep.
Just 2 chances is too many.
Second free throw coming from Schwaber. He missed the first. Second one short. Caesar. Rosehill needs to find something and in a hurry. They need to find a way to get the lead under 10 by what, the 4-minute mark probably?
Yes.
To have any sort of momentum. Caesar.
Boy, that was a late call.
That was an extremely late call.
It was like a 10-second count, and then I'll call it.
That's a shooting foul.
Yes. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sitting over here in a little bit of shock.
Now I'll say this. I kind of did feel like it was a foul as the play developed.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure what took so long.
Yeah. Maybe I'd think about it for a minute.
A 2-for-2 trip,
Yep.
lead down to 15.
Yep. They needed those free throws. Now they need a quick stop here and another bucket.
Could seeing the basketball go in the hoop a couple of times help Caesar get unlocked. Nearly a steal by Anderson. Prager, kick out. Eber into the lane. Rolls off, but he gets his own board. Nice defense inside by Rosehill. They'll look to run. Caesar. And a block.
Good call. Good call. Good call.
2 more free throws forthcoming for Caesar.
Caesar
Chance to cut it to 13.
Caesar with a healthy Euro step.
Yes, it was.
I remember years ago in the 90s, it was the long jump stop they started to allow. Then all of a sudden that became traveling, and now the Euro step is okay. The evolution of the game of basketball.
Caesar hits the first.
Yep.
6:08 to play. There's still a lot of time here.
Yes, there is.
Lead down to a baker's dozen. 6 minutes even on the clock, fourth quarter. Schwaber, baseline. Into the chest of Caesar. Cross court for Prager. Baseline 14-footer, short. Nearly a steal. Now they get that. Now they do get it back. That is a bucket that should just never happen.
Never happen.
But A.J. Wilder, to be fair, we're talking about a freshman playing in a state championship game, just couldn't squeeze it.
Yeah, he's under a lot of pressure. I'm sure he feels it. And Ebner with his signature move to get that bucket. He's kind of like Anderson. He's very creative with his body around the basket to get some shots up. I think Coach Marlar had taken Anderson out for a quick blow there. Maybe to get him settled down a little bit.
He's back on the floor now.
Yep.
The foul sends Avery Botkin-Henderson to the free throw line. 1-1. Rosehill Christian in the bonus now. Misses the front end. Eber.
You know,
a foul.
You were talking about pressure on coaches. I'm amazed at how many coaches we have in the stands. Everybody knows how to do it.
All the parents want to be coaches.
Absolutely.
Nice look underneath. And the finish. Benjamin Rail.
And on that note, I kind of understand. I mean, they're invested in this, particularly when you get your kid into private school, you're paying tuition. I mean, there's some investment. Nice play.
Nice finish by the freshman Wilder.
Anderson with a nice drop-off pass there for the
No
bucket.
doubt.
Yeah, that was really pretty.
Under 5 to play, though, and the lead stands at 15. Rosehill has got to create some havoc here. They cannot allow for Prager to just dribble the ball 40 feet from the hoop.
Yeah, there's not enough what I want to say, energy. That's not the word I'm looking for either.
Just no sense of urgency.
Urgency, that's the word I was looking for. My old brain couldn't come up with it.
3 in the corner, that misses. Caesar with the rebound. Nearly had it stripped away by Winton. 4:20 to play in the fourth. Caesar, pull up 3. Drew the foul. He'll head to the line for 3.
He's starting to impose his will a little bit on this quarter.
I'm wondering what took so long.
Yeah, I know.
Please understand, if you're sitting at home and you're a big fan or a family member of Caleb Caesar, everything I'm saying is meant to be as a compliment. He's too good a player to not be more involved.
Absolutely.
He's very clearly a player that can get anywhere on the floor he wants to be, has the length advantage over anybody on Yavneh. As he hits the first 2 of 3.
Yeah, he's gonna get that 3-point play surely the old-fashioned way. Making 3 free throws.
Lead down to 13.
Oh my.
Misses the third. 47-34, 4:10 to play. Yavneh looking to kill some more time. Prager straight away. Guarded by Buck and Henderson.
Oh, they got Schwaber in a big mismatch in there. Now they switch back.
And time just continues to bleed off the clock. 3:45 to play and a foul now. That'll be on the floor.
Yeah, not a bad foul.
Foul goes against the freshman Wilder.
Come on, guys, D up here. You got to get a 5-second count. Oh, my goodness.
Layup missed by Eber inside. And here comes Rosehill Christian. Down 13, they need buckets in a hurry. Anderson. Lots of contact, no foul. He gets up wondering how that's possible.
Yeah.
Ball knocked out of bounds, though, by Yavneh on the defensive board, so it'll stay on this end.
Yep.
Travel.
Yep.
And frankly,
he could have got
Anderson's lucky he didn't get teed up for that. I understand the frustration.
Yep.
This has been in some ways, a maddening day for this Rosehill Christian School team.
Yep.
But rifling the ball off the backboard like that, I think you could make a strong argument he probably deserved a technical foul for that. The officials understanding the tension of the moment, not electing to do that. Now a travel by Yavneh.
That was actually a good piece of officiating to just let the frustration.
To let it go, I would tend to agree. Any other circumstance, if it's not a state championship game, I think it's probably an automatic technical foul. This is a heightened set of circumstances, and you let a little bit more go. Caesar for 3, misses short, offensive board, and the freshman will head to the free throw line for 2.
I'll tell you what, the freshman's coming up big here.
I thought he
had
today.
a smart foul down here on the couple of possessions ago.
Yeah.
And now the offensive rebound and attempted putback. Now he's got to make these free throws. Well,
Off the right side of the iron.
The trend continues for the day of poor free throw shooting.
It has been a scourge on all 5 of the games we've seen in this gym today. Second one won't go either. Schwaber with the rebound. But I still think your point holds. A.J. Wilder's been very good today for Rosehill Christian.
Yes, absolutely.
Bright future for that kid, just a freshman.
Agreed.
And really does not look like a freshman. Schwaber nearly had it poked away by Caesar. 2:40 to play, lead at 13.
Good D by Caesar. Yes, sir.
Travel by Prager.
You know, Avery Botkin Henderson is the unsung hero out there. We haven't said a word about him, but he's just out there working hard. That closeout there that he did on the Yavneh player caused that travel.
Rosehill has to hurry here.
Yes, they do.
Anderson into the lane. Offensive foul.
That's a tough call.
Anderson creates the turnover. Knocked out of bounds. Eber with the block. And very quickly, the officials on top of a little bit of extracurriculars there. Anderson got tangled up.
Yeah, Anderson actually pushed the Yavneh player, and
yeah,
this official saw it. But good job of just going in and talking to the player and not.
Eric Hoskins, the official involved there. Cooler heads prevail. Ball ricochets out of bounds on the inbound pass from Anderson. He's a young man who's playing frustrated right now.
Yeah, absolutely. He understands the urgency of the situation, and he's trying to make something happen.
Right. And he's played fantastic tonight, but he's just had the deck stacked against him all evening. Under 2 to play. Yavneh Academy inching closer to a state championship. Timeout, David Zimmerman.
Well, if you thought they stalled it in the first half, wait till you see the stall now.
Yavneh Academy playing for a state championship today on the strength of a 67-45 win over Denton Calvary Academy in the area round. 76-60, they beat Faith Academy of Marble Falls in the regional final. Yesterday, they beat Midland Classical 68-56 in the state semifinals, exacting a little revenge on Midland Classical, who beat them last year in the state semis during their trip to today's game to play for a state championship. And now with $1:52 to play in the fourth quarter, they lead by 13 over Rosehill Christian. So very close to a state championship in their fourth trip to state. David Zimmerman's club, moments away.
Moments away. These are the toughest moments of the game, when you kind of know you have it in hand, but yet it's still uncertain a little bit.
Rosehill Christian, 25-7 on the year. Beat Sacred Heart Hallettsville in the area round, New Braunfels Christian Academy in the regional final, and a 77-61 win over Brazos Christian yesterday in the semis. But now with an Everest to scale in the final $1:52.
That was a nice sideline out of bounds play by Yavneh. Good job by Coach Zimmerman drawing that one up.
And now they wait. 100 seconds to play. Winton circles back, trapped, and a foul.
Yeah. I think they let too much time go off the clock before they fouled. They need to foul almost immediately.
And especially in a circumstance where they're not yet in the bonus, why not be extra aggressive and try and create a turnover? And if you do foul, so what?
Yep, go for the ball. If you foul, you foul.
Instead, Winton being allowed to just dribble around in circles. Now he gets it to Eber, and a foul by Caesar.
Well, Yavneh kind of play ring around the Rosie there, with just dribbling around the floor, and Rosehill chasing.
And now the Yavneh.
And they're going to set this sideline out of bounds play again.
The Yavneh fans on the far side can taste it now.
They don't have to run the sidelines play. I was going to say, I bet off of that sideline out of bounds play, they have something special to the basket instead of into the backcourt. But we're not going to get to see that because they're in the 1-and-1.
Eber to the free throw line. Misses the front end. Caesar, as Rosehill needs something in immediate fashion. A foul as Caesar got into the lane.
He had Wilder set up for a layup there. And
yeah. Instead to the free throw line for 2 as they are now in the double bonus. He misses the first. This game again was rescheduled. It was supposed to be earlier in the day, rescheduled for after sundown because it was Yavneh that won in that semifinal against Midland Classical. Yavneh is a observant Jewish school, can't play during Shabbat, which begins Friday at sundown, ends Saturday at sundown. Apparently the day of rest was exactly what they needed to be ready to play tonight. They've been sensational this evening.
I tell you, they had plenty of energy. They have played hard and played well. I'm going to take my day of rest tomorrow.
You and me both.
Yeah.
Been a long weekend.
It has been, but this has been I tell you, I've had so much fun. This has been fantastic. I really had, I've never done the color before for a television broadcast, and so this, I was kind of.
You never would have known, my man.
Well, I was kind of worried about coming down here and swallowing the mic, but it's been a fun. Even if I swallowed the mic, it's been good. It's been fun.
Believe me, you haven't swallowed the mic. It's been fun to work with you.
Thank you. Same in return. Now it looks like Coach Zimmerman getting some bench players in the game.
Foul at midcourt by Christopher Swedland.
Interestingly enough, Yavneh hasn't been able to stretch their lead, even though Rosehill's fouling, because they haven't hit their free throws.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't understand why kids don't work on free throws. It's called a free throw because it's free. So you would want to make it free, right?
Another missed free throw.
Yeah.
Rosehill's slim hopes fading fast. 43 to play. Anderson for 3. That misses as well. Schwaber. And a foul on Caesar. Prager will head to the free throw line. And that is the 10th foul of the half, so 2 free throws forthcoming.
Well, Yavneh fans having a good time, as they should.
Well earned over the course of the evening.
Yes.
By their sons and brothers, cousins,
yep,
friends.
And then Coach Zimmerman.
That's a good line. Free throw misses by Prager. Tell you what, Yavneh's fortunate that Rosehill hasn't hit anything on the other end because they keep missing free throws.
Yes.
A couple of late threes here from Rosehill Christian could have made this a little more interesting with all these free throw misses.
It could have been an incredibly panic set in if they
had. With all of these free throws that have missed, the gap being 6 right now is entirely realistic.
Yes.
But Rosehill just hasn't hit on a couple of their three-point attempts.
Actually, Rosehill's had enough possessions to be closer than 6.
Yeah, probably. Finally, a free throw made by Yavneh. Lead back to 13. Final 36 seconds. That's from way downtown. Ball tipped. Yavneh rebound. Final 30 seconds. And a foul by the freshman Wilder. I really was impressed by A.J. Wilder today. The freshman playing really well in a state championship game. He'll be a key piece you can bet for Rosehill Christian in years to come.
I think Coach Marlar ought to give him a kiss. I got a story.
It's one way to show affection.
I got a story behind that, but I can't tell it. No one would understand it, so nobody should tell them. But it reflects back on a college coach one of my friends played for, and that was his way of showing appreciation to the guys. Well, I don't know what to say about that. But
another free throw missed there by Jonah Eber, but it matters little as the Yavneh fans and now the Yavneh huddle bouncing, celebrating a state championship that is just 24 seconds away.
What was that ABC show they used to put on, The Joy? What was that? What was that? The phrase they used to say, the joy of victory and the agony of defeat?
Yes, sir.
We see it playing out on both benches here. The joy of victory and the agony of defeat. That was a great ABC sports show years ago. You're probably too young.
Talk about the wild world of sports?
Yeah.
I'm not old enough to have watched it myself.
Yeah.
But I'm at least old enough to know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I was a faithful watcher of that show for many years. At my grandmother's house because my parents did not allow a TV in our house.
One more free throw here for Jonah Eber. As David Zimmerman prepares to empty his bench. And it falls. Tyler Winton jumping into the arms of Jonah Eber.
Yeah.
And Yavneh celebrating a state championship.
Coach Zimmerman hugging Schweber. I'd be hugging him too. He played a whale of a game.
Caesar will pick up just shy of the timeline. 22 to play as he fires the three, misses short. Yavneh with the rebound. No need to foul at this point. They will one final time. 12.3 to play.
Coach Marlar's going offensive, defensive substitutions. He's still coaching. I give him credit for that.
Absolutely.
When he watches this film, he's going to realize how many chances they had to narrow this down if they could just hit shots. Because Yavneh has definitely left the door open for him by not hitting their free throws. But
Reese Parker, a senior reserve, on the floor here in the late going. Has another free throw forthcoming. Alicia Klein, another reserve who didn't see many minutes, or any minutes I should say, during the regular flow of the game, but getting on the floor here in a state title game. Nicholas Krasovitsky on the floor as well as the free throw falls. Final 10 seconds. Three-pointer heaved from the near side by Pierce Shipp. And that'll do it. Yavneh Academy, 50-35 winners. State champions in TAPS 3A.
Look at Coach Zimmerman expressing his appreciation to his coaching staff. That's awesome.
A 31-3 campaign for the Yavneh Academy Bulldogs. They were in control for basically the entire game. Jumped out to an early 11-5 lead. Rosehill Christian, to their credit, fought back into the basketball game, had it at 3 in the second quarter at a couple of different points. But then a 7-0 run late in the second quarter opened things up for Yavneh Academy, and they never really let Rosehill Christian back in the basketball game.
Yeah, they opened it up and never looked back.
And Yavneh Academy celebrating a state championship.
Yeah, like I said a little bit ago, the joy of victory and the agony of defeat. Well-deserved joy.
Rosehill Christian experiencing that agony now. Jacob Anderson, the senior point guard, played his tail off tonight, but just not enough for the Eagles.
Well, you think about this, that last year Rosehill was knocked out of the playoffs early when Jacob couldn't play.
Yeah.
And now to be able to get back to the state championship game, he doesn't have anything to hang his head about.
Gets a hug and a word of encouragement from the assistant coaching staff.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time we'd like to announce the members of the 3A Boys All-Tournament team for 2020.
50-35 the final in the 3A title game. Let's pass it over to our public address announcer, John Pritchett, to introduce the all-tournament team in 3A, and they'll hand out the medals and trophies and plaques as well.
Fort Miller, if you're here, please come to the roar. From Brazos Christian Academy, senior Jacob Smith. Jacob Smith, if you're here. Here comes Jacob. From Midland Glasgow, junior Drew Littleton. And from Brazos Christian Academy, senior John Olston. Brazos Christian, Jacob Smith. Christian, Don Olston. From Rosehill Christian, freshman, A.J. Wilder. From Yavneh Academy, senior, Tyler Whitten. From Rosehill, junior, Justin Whitmire. From Yavneh, senior, Mason Schwammer. From Rosehill, senior, Jacob Anderson. From Yavneh, senior, Jonah Eber. From Rosehill, senior, Caleb Caesar. And from Yavneh Academy, junior, Jason Blager. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Conference 3A Boys All-Tournament team. Congratulations, gentlemen. And now, we'd like to recognize the runner-up team for Conference 3A Boys for 2020. They made their first ever trip to the state tournament. They finished with an outstanding record of 26-12. The Eagles of Rosehill Christian School and Coach Taylor Marler. At this time, Coach Marler will be presenting the runner-up medal to members of each team. As we call your name, please step forward to be graced with your medal. Beginning with number 1, senior Jacob Anderson. Number 2, freshman Avery Botkin Henderson. sophomore, Christopher Swedlund. Number 10, junior, Pierce Ship. Number 11, freshman, Anthony Wilder. Number 12, sophomore, Ben Gringo. Number 14, junior, Michael Valdez. Number 15, sophomore, Micah Kelly. Number 20, sophomore, Ethan Ship. Number 21, freshman, Samuel Twain. Number 22, senior, Caleb Caesar. And number 23, junior, Justin Whitmire. Assistant coach, Timothy Honeycutt. And head coach, Taylor Marler. And now, Eagles of Rosehill Christian School, please step forward and receive your runner-up plaque and banner. The Conference 3 Boys runner-up for 2020. Congratulations, Eagles. And now, recognizing the 2020 Conference 3A State Champion, the Bulldogs of Yavneh County of Dallas, and Coach David Zimmerman. The Bulldogs getting their second state championship. They finished with an outstanding record of 31-3. As we call your name, please come forward and receive your state champion medal. Number 0, junior Tom Oster. Number 1, senior Jonah Eber. Number 2, freshman Brendan Bernstein. Number 4, junior Elisha Klein. Number 3, senior Tyler Winton. Number 4, freshman Daniel Schick. Number 5, junior Jason Prager. Number 11, senior Reese Parker. Number 12, junior Avery Levy. Number 13, sophomore Benjamin Rail. Number 14, sophomore Noah Haya. Number 22, junior Nicholas Krasovitsky. Number 23, sophomore Hillel Baynash. Number 33, freshman Adam Eber. Number 41, senior Mason Schroeder. Number 44, senior Alec Nelson. And number 55, junior Xander Feinstein. Assistant coach, Zachary Pollock. Assistant coach, Marty Garnett. Assistant coach, Matthew Zucker. Assistant coach, Dmitry Chernikov. Assistant coach, Max Westberg. Assistant coach, Gary Katz. And assistant coach, Ryan Rosa. And now, Yavneh Academy. Assistant coach, Zachary Collins. And now, Bulldogs of Yavneh Academy, please step forward and accept your state championship plaque and banner. The Yavneh Bulldogs 2020 Conference 3A Boys State Champion. Congratulations, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance at tonight's game. We ask that you please drive carefully, leaving West High School.
Not a bad way to finish off a weekend full of 36 basketball games, 6 state championships handed out for the boys and girls over the course of the last 3 days in TAPS basketball. Yavneh Academy finishing it off with a 50-35 win in 3A boys hoops. And they get to celebrate with a picture at midcourt. Pretty impressive performance from this group. Number 1 in the state in 3A. And proving that over the course of these playoffs.
Yeah, they played like number 1. They sure did. Well-deserved state championship.
A dozen points from Mason Schwaber. And by my count, 15-17 from Jonah Eber to lead the way for Yavneh Academy. Rosehill Christian with a nice performance from Jacob Anderson, of course. 7 points in the fourth quarter alone from Caleb Caesar, but a little too late for Rosehill Christian. But the Eagles with some talent coming back next year, so the future looks bright for Taylor Marlar's club as well. Certainly A.J. Wilder, a freshman named to the all-tournament team, may be paramount, in that conversation.
Place to build from.
For sure.
Yep.
But Yavneh Academy behind the senior leaders, Jonah Eber and Mason Schwaber. Tyler Winton as well, another senior starter for that group who played well today. 31-3 on the year and state champs.
Yep, I'll tell you, it's been a fun 2 days of basketball for me. I feel very blessed to have been able to do this. Color commentating, I hope I did TAPS proud. And Mike,
you did indeed, my man.
It's been my pleasure to work with you. I've so enjoyed it.
Likewise.
Blessings
been a blast.
to you. Be safe going home, all right?
My thanks as well to Steve Pradam, the executive director of the Texas Association of Private and Parochial Schools, for bringing me along to join for what was 17 broadcasts over the course of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 6 girls state semis on Thursday, 6 boys state semis yesterday, all at University High School, and then 5 state championships here at West High School. And Yavneh Academy, the final state champions of the weekend.
Yeah. The picture to leave with, Coach Zimmerman dancing with his players in the Joy of Victory dance.
What is better than that?
Yeah.
Thanks as well to Will Dixon and our crew here at West High School. Thanks to our crews at all 3 locations over the course of this weekend. 36 basketball games put on by TAPS and 12 state championships handed out. A successful weekend for all involved. For everyone here at West High School, I'm Mike Leslie. Thanks so much for watching TAPS TV's presentation of the TAPS State Championships. We hope to see you all next year.